I was watching it with a group of people for the first time, and I kid you not, like, I was so scared. I was hiding behind the couch. Like, I was like, I cannot.
If it happens, don't come to me. If you come to me, we're cooked. We're screwed. I'm not going to be able to figure it out.
No. Welcome to the Point of View podcast. My name is Osatohamen.
And my name is Uyiosa.
And here we are today for another episode.
Yeah, we're super excited to jump into another movie this week. So this week we are doing the movie Interstellar. Thinking most people have heard of it. If you haven't watched it yet, totally okay. I think I watched it like 3 months ago.
For the first time?
Yeah. Well, because like I'd always heard of the movie, but I was like, oh, you know. And I also watched Inception for the first time like 2 months ago too, because I started Inception.
Actually, I don't even blame you. I didn't watch Interstellar until I was 19, and I had actually never heard of it until I was 19.
Because it's just one of those movies that people are always like, oh, it's so hard to understand, which I mean, like, it was and it wasn't in a way.
The first time watching it, when I was scared the whole time, because, like, I do not do well with scary movies, like, at all.
Yeah, I thought they were going to get, like, some black hole creature or something.
I thought something was going to pop out. And so this is still super embarrassing. But I was watching it with a group of people for the first time. And I kid you not, like, I was so scared. I was hiding behind the couch. Like, I was like, I cannot. And I didn't really know these people either. But I was so scared.
Gosh, dude.
Like, I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
Okay, I was not like that. I was not. Well, first of all, I watched it alone.
Yeah, no. Like, because I didn't know what the movie was. People were just like, should we watch a movie? I was like, okay, sure. Yeah. And they're like, let's watch Interstellar. I was like, I don't even know I don't know what this movie is. And I was like, I'm so used to movies having jump scares. I can't handle that. So I'm freaking out and I'm hiding.
Christopher Nolan does a good job. The Dark Knight, best Batman. I don't care what anybody says. But
it's a great movie. But I watched it. I watched it like all three of them.
I know the Batman's good with Robert Pattinson, but Dark Knight's better.
Yeah, I did watch that one too.
Dark Knight's better, but
I used to watch movies. Now I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to get back on it. I did just watch Now You See Me 1 and 2. Cause have you heard of that movie? The one with like the magic tricks. It has James Franco or his brother in it. I can't remember which one's which.
No, I have no clue.
You've heard it. You've seen it. You just don't know what it is. Like, because like I'd also like seen it, but I was like, oh, I didn't realize that this was the movie.
I'll check it out later.
But yeah, just to jump in, a little quick summary for Interstellar. Again, it's like a confusing movie, but most people say it's confusing. I didn't think it was that confusing. I've only watched it once. So I didn't think it was that confusing.
Watch it a second time, you'll be like, whoa.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure if I watch it again, I'm like, okay, wow, this stuff. Because there's so much that happens. But basically, there's this guy named Cooper. He goes by his last name. And he lives with his father-in-law and his two kids, his son, Tom, and his daughter, Murph. And so they basically live on Earth, but this is supposed to be like in the far future. There have been dust storms, and there have been things that have been happening, and the Earth is basically becoming like uninhabitable. Like the Earth is dying, basically. So they everyone knows that like it doesn't really matter what you're gonna do. All of us are gonna die, maybe in the next 5 to 10 years if we're lucky. Maybe not even up to. And so Coop is with his daughter Murph. Like Coop is like a scientist, right? He's like one of those people before like the dust storms came. He was one of those people that was he was like a NASA worker basically. Like he was someone that was solving issues, a scientist that was helping with things in the field, how to make the Earth better, this and that. And so him and his daughter stumble like upon this like NASA like space like I don't even know what it's called, like station almost.
Yeah, like hidden kind of base kind of thing.
And he meets this guy named Professor Brand and his daughter, Dr. Brand. And so they basically come in with a proposal in front of his daughter, and they're like, hey, like because they've done research about him. They know he's a smart scientist, that he can help them make the Earth inhabitable again. And so they're basically like, hey, you need to come with us to go explore different planets and different habitable like universes that are like out there. And if you come with us, it'll be a sacrifice, but you will literally be saving like mankind. And so his daughter is there, and he's kind of like, well, no, like, I'm not just gonna leave my 2 kids and my family.
And they're little kids too.
Yeah, she's like, what, 10? And then he's 15?
Yeah.
Like, they're not old enough to just be like, okay, I can, not that you should leave your kids anyway, but like, he's kind of like, no, like, I'm not leaving my kid. But then as things go on, Murph is kind of like, Murph doesn't want him to leave, but like, he kind of like accepts, like, I'm one of the only people that can literally save the earth. And it's like this big sacrifice. And so there's so many consequences that come with like leaving, because they don't know how time works up there. They don't know if they'll even be able to breathe. No one's actually been up into these planets they're trying to find. They've only sent out 4 scientists, I believe, to 4 different planets to see if they're habitable, and only one of the scientists there was still like sending a beacon like, hey, I'm alive, and like that was it. That was all they were going based off of one guy's like beacon that's been going off for like who knows how many years. And so it starts the story. He goes with this team of people, and they basically like search for these habitable planets, and they're trying to basically find a way to restart civilization for the people on Earth.
Yeah, no, this movie is like, I don't know. I just love this movie because the messages and the themes, it's like, I feel like you can't really find that in a lot of modern day movies. Like,
yeah.
I was like trying to think of like, you know, like so I'm 22, Yosa's 18. And when I was in high school, which is not even that long ago, like maybe like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it was like every like quarter, every like season, there was a new movie to watch, a new thing to watch. But I feel like nowadays I look and I'm like, what do you watch?
I don't want to watch Superman.
I do.
I'm sorry.
I do.
I'm sorry. I'm a what's his name? I'm a Henry Cavill stan. So I mean, I will end up watching it, but
see, I've never been the person to like only like a movie because a certain actor is in it.
I just like the way he plays Superman.
No,
I know
too.
people are gonna be mad because people are like, that's not how Superman's actually supposed to be, which like might be true, but it's just like, I just like the way he plays it. Like, sorry guys, you can hate on me, and I don't like Amazing Spider-Man. Just saying, the one with Andrew Garfield.
Oh, I never finished it. I don't think
they're not for me.
Yeah, but anyway, like, so Cooper and Murph, they're like, basically this whole movie is about this father-daughter bond. Like, everything that happens in this movie can be boiled down to like the daughter and father. And
sorry, Tom.
but like, which is like, in my opinion, like, and not only like daughter, father for Cooper and Murph, but also Dr. Brand and her father.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I love that. I love that theme. Like, something that is towards the end of the movie. I feel like this maybe is a movie we shouldn't spoil. Because, like, I know it's been out for a long time, but I didn't watch it until, like, 3 years ago.
If you don't want spoilers, stop at this.
No, just, like, skip, like, the next, like, 2 minutes.
Yeah, skip maybe 5.
But, yeah, so, like, basically what happens at the end is that they are looking for this planet, and Dr. Mann, which is the one who had been sending, like, the beacon, like, this place is great, I'm alive. Like, they decide to go to the first person first. And like Yosa was saying, like, there's this difference in time because of the speed of time, like the speed of light and all that. Like,
because the black hole that surrounds the planets they're trying to go through causes it warps time, basically.
And so, like, basically, like, the amount of time to go through it will be like 10 years or something. Like, it's like crazy.
Yeah, like every 7 minutes is 10 years.
Yeah, something insane,
crazy.
So the first planet they go to, like, they go to it, they see water, and they're like, oh, this is great. And then they start looking around, and they're like, where else is it? They couldn't find anything. And then they realized that this place, has like this the like water, it's just a planet of water, and so the professor, and the time is warped, and so the professor that had gone and had said this place is great, I'm alive, basically had probably, they said she probably died only a few minutes before they got there, even though it was like years later. Even though
it was like probably 30, 40, 50 years
for
her.
And I'm like, that is insane. And so like by the time they get back to the spaceship, they left someone there. He's like years older. He's been like, can you imagine that? Like,
it is awful because the way that the time, they literally, the ship was here and they were like, what, a couple miles away, like, because they had left out of the ship, and that's when time started like affecting them. And I can't remember the doctor's name, the black guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember the doctor's name that they left. Like when he comes back, he's like, I've been waiting for like 25 years. And I'm like, oh, heck, no.
No.
That's where I draw the line.
I'm like, absolutely
like,
not.
nope, let's go home now. There's nothing left.
Yeah. And so one thing about this whole mission is that their family can be sending messages to them. They can't send messages back because they're too far. But basically he sees years worth of messages of his children growing up. And slowly some of them, his son starts to not believe in him, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like the heartbreak and everything. And so they go and meet Dr. Mann, the big betrayer, and he basically lied about there being any life. But the reason he said come get me was because he didn't want to die. He didn't want to be left alone. And so it's just this heartbreak and this frustration. They're trying to get back, and as they're going, like there's just so much. Like I could be here for 20 years trying to explain it. Basically, they had thought that they were getting these messages from these like aliens or this other world life, that there is answers beyond. But the truth of the matter was that these aliens were them, and there was this like fourth wall, and it was like, it's so complex. The science is it's the complex science, but basically, how the messages were discovered because family was the end of it. Like Murph, the daughter, was able to discover the answer to how to save Earth, how to save humankind, because her dad had gone on this mission and was able to transmit a message through this fourth dimension to his daughter. And I'm like, wow, like
that's insane.
That is insane that the daughter was able to understand that the
actually,
father
might be a fifth dimension, actually.
Yeah. And it's just like, I love that theme, and I love that message, because it just shows that like love can transcend time. It can transcend space, universes, like, and I think that was my favorite message of this. That it was like, the science was cool. That, like, I guess it's a bit of action. The guy
there's some,
fighting Dr. Mann.
Like it gets a little, high action sometimes. But it's genuinely the love at the end of the day that literally transcends all belief, hope, whatever science that they had thought they knew, whatever calculations, hypotheses, experiments that they thought like, oh, this is going to be the answer. At the end of the day, at the end of the movie, the reason that the planet that they even find, like, he even is able to connect with his daughter to be able to speak, and then they find out how to like save the planet, and Murph becomes like the savior of the movie, is because he's able to speak to her through like the Morse code, through like that fifth dimension wall, because there comes a scene where they're like fighting Dr. Mann, and the planet, they're trying to get back in the spaceship, and so basically they get separated, and so he gets like blasted into like this black hole space, and like he enters this fifth dimension wall, and the reason he does is because it's his love for Murph that connects him to the day that he had left Earth, probably like 30, 40 years ago by this time, maybe even more. I don't ask me about the time stuff. It's like every 7 minutes and 23.2 seconds.
It's so like, complex.
It's so like, but it just say it's like 40, 50 years. He goes back to this specific time, and he speaks to her in Morse code. And then she is able to come back 20, 30 years later, and she's able to recite that Morse code, and they're basically speaking through each other through this like fifth dimension wall. And she like realizes it's like in his watch, it's like he's like telling her the ticking time because his watch has been broken. But she didn't realize that the watch had held this message of like, I don't even know what it was. It was like, don't leave, or like something like like some type of planet, something. But that message is what they needed to literally save like mankind. And it's just insane. Like I will never like, I don't think anyone will ever fully understand the movie except maybe the people that created it, the people like Christopher Nolan and the other screenwriters. I don't know, but
like that just shows how much Christopher Nolan is such an amazing director, and he wrote the movie too. Like, how do you like come up with?
I don't know how people even like
this. I don't think I've ever watched another movie that like the complexities of it are just like, I mean, obviously there's other space movies. We've talked about Star Wars here on the podcast. We've talked about, well, we've never talked about Star Trek. I've never watched Star Trek, but that's another one.
I tried watching it.
We don't want to offend the Star Trek lovers.
Also, that was like, I was like 10 probably, so it's like that was different.
Yeah, but like I don't feel like the complexities of Interstellar is like there in those movies.
Same thing with Inception. Like, I'm telling you, you need to watch that movie.
I've been wanting.
The way
it's been on my
it
list
warps
for
your
years.
brain is like, I would say it's more complicated than Interstellar, not because of like the storyline, but because of like the way they warp realities. It's like you don't even know what's real by the end of the movie. It's crazy, but
it's insane. But yeah, I love the message of love, and it's like I love that it's a message of familial love. Like, you know, we're like we've said before on this podcast, we love romance, we love the innocent and whatever love, but like I think for me, my favorite type of stories are always like when we see families coming together and defeating the evil. Yeah. And so I think that the evil, in quotations, if you're listening to this, is that the earth is getting destroyed. And the only way to save this, like the way everything like happened, it just shows that everything happens for a reason and nothing is coincidental, which is so true in life. I think that the dad in the beginning, the reason he found the space station was because there was an unmanned drone and he had basically hacked into it, and then he was following it to see like if it would take him back, and it like went into the space station. That's how he was able to discover it. Like, what are the chances that he was out there, had his computer and an unmanned drone? Like, it was just so many things that were not coincidental. And it just shows that the fact that he was speaking to his old self years in the future.
Crazy.
Like, I think that, you know, that could be real life. That could be that, like, family and, like, you know, we don't really understand so much of science and so much of the universe. Who knows how much of things we're doing is impacted by our future self. Exactly. Or, you know, obviously our past selves impact our future as well. And so I just love that the daughter, like, in a way, sometimes I'm upset that he didn't get the recognition that he technically deserved. Yeah. But I also think that his daughter, I mean,
it was her faith in him.
It was his faith in him. And her intelligence, like, yeah, like he said in Morse code, this is the answer. But like he could have given the answer to anyone, and they may have never figured it out.
They may have never known
but
it.
She's the one that did it, and so
I mean, talking about kind of family, do you think that you would leave, like, to save, like, if you were one of the smartest scientists on the planet, would you leave your family, your life, and possibly lose years of your children's life, which they knew could happen? By the way, in the beginning of the movie, they knew that they could miss like 30 years, which is why in the beginning of the movie, he told his daughter Murph, he goes like, when I come back, we'll be the same age, which he ended up not being able to fulfill that promise. But it's like,
she was so much older.
Yeah, a lot. But do you think you would leave for the greater good? Like, even if you didn't, whether you knew or whether you didn't, it's like, would you leave? Because there was no guarantee, right?
Yeah, that's tough. And I think it delves deep into like differences between mother and father, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I feel like and I'm not obviously a mother, but I feel like as a mother, like good mothers I don't think would do that.
And also their mother is dead.
Yeah, the mom's dead.
So he's a single
Like
parent.
I feel like in a lot of times in life, like a dad is able to be the protector and is able to like go out, and so there's always already like sometimes like that separation from children. Like of course they love their children deeply, but they're able to go and do kind of that work and everything. But like for the mother, I feel like it's like, oh, I gave birth to these children, like I am so deeply involved in their care and their raising. Can you imagine our mom leaving for 30 years?
But what if like, so you're saying if you didn't have a husband, you would still stay? But if you did have a husband, like, if
I was the most intelligent person and I was the only one to do it and I had my husband there, I think I could do it, yeah.
But if you didn't have your husband
I would say no.
I mean, it's a tough question. Honestly, tough. I don't know.
I'm saying this now, and we like
if it happened, if someone
hopefully
comes
this never happens. Apocalyptic.
If it happens, don't come to me. If you come to me, we're cooked. We're screwed. I'm not gonna be able to figure it out.
No.
Like imagine someone coming to you in 20 years and telling you the Earth is gonna never survive, and you might be one of the only people that can save our planet. What do you do? Like genuinely, what do you do? So like you're sitting there, you're like, well, I need to stay here and protect my kids. But then their lives might be over in 5 years anyway.
But leaving may protect them too.
Yeah, and you don't know. It's like if you leave, will you come back? Will they be alive? Would you be in time to save them?
I feel like a lot of it was like faith, just going in faith. And so it would have to be there would be bro. I feel like the situation with the doctor was like thinking back on it, it was so sus. Like,
yeah, honestly.
Like there was so many things you were kind of like, and I know maybe there was like, it had to be kind of like corrupt in a way because the earth was literally dying and destroying, and anyone that was smart could see that was happening. And no, not even smart. Anyone that was like literally living could see, hey, the farms are not doing well. Like we're running out of food. Like there's like anyone could see that. And so I don't know. I think it would have to be, I don't know. That's a really tough question because it's like,
really,
I feel like he didn't proofread enough before going out. I think that's another thing.
And like at the end of the day, he saved everyone, but at what cost? Which is like kind of goes into like our next point. It's like, how do you even live the fact that, yeah, hooray, we saved the earth, everyone's great, but it's like the people you did it for are no longer there to be alive. Even Dr. Brand is like lost in a space-time continuum, and he is literally alone, having to find his friends and family yet again.
And they recreated his home, and oh my gosh, like, can you imagine that? I would be like mad. I would be like, I'm sorry.
I don't want to see this.
I don't care about the random home. Like that's not it. Like, yeah, like absolutely. Like we were talking about this before we started this episode, but like we hate the ending. Like
I don't like it.
I don't love how no one thinks he did anything. Like, they just kind of think he was someone that went off into space or whatever.
Like, no, he did something.
He did, like, a lot. He was the savior, like, the hidden savior. And I also don't love that he missed so much of his children's life. Because the reason, if he said it, the only reason he went out was to protect and to have a better life with his children. His son, who's older than the daughter, we know that he was dead because we didn't see him at the end. So the only person that was alive was Murph. And Murph was like on her deathbed, like so old.
And by then she had her own family. She'd
generations
kind of moved on.
She was like probably like a great grandmother by then.
Yeah, she was over 100, I think.
Yeah.
So by then, like, she loved him, but it was almost like she had made her own family. Yeah. And it was almost like,
and he missed that.
And he's like, what, supposed to be 150 years old, and then he's stuck in like his like 35-year-old body. like what do you even do with that? Like, I don't, how do you continue on? Like, it's really,
I think that it just shows that like, how do we handle like sacrifices for, the greater good, and like not even like, oh, we're gonna save the planet, but the greater good in our own lives, right? Like sometimes you have to sacrifice things, time and fun and all these
Love
things,
and
all of this to get to your destination, to get to your goals. And I think that there's guilt to that, but I also think that in the end, like, have you really thought about like, oh, if I'm sacrificing my time to study for, like, let's say like most people are studying for the SAT or something like that, do you look back on it and you're like, oh, I regret not being able to go and like go to the big city and hang out? Like, no one's thinking about that. And so yeah, we're thinking about it in this like perspective of looking into this, but
can you even really imagine?
Yeah, can you
He
imagine?
had to sacrifice?
But do you think that he was like? I don't think his face really showed that he regretted going out.
Yeah, because I think, I mean, at the end of the day, the ends did justify the means, right?
Yeah.
He saved Earth. He made humanity again. Him and Murph were able to restart civilization. He did what he sought out to do. And of course, you're not going to regret that, but it's like, in a way, it's almost like, well, the family I did it for isn't here. So it's like, if someone comes up to you, they're like, well, you've just saved every single person on this planet. Would you do it again? It's like, am I really willing to sacrifice the 5 years I would get with my family versus giving everyone on Earth a chance to live like a life?
And are those 5 years worth it?
Yeah, maybe not even up to.
Yeah.
Because people would die from, like, the dust, like a cough, like other things. Like, I think the son, his first kid dies, and then I think his wife dies too. So, like, there's just so many people.
No, the wife didn't die, but the son was going to, like, had like a really bad cough, and like the dad, and her older brother became one of those
crazy.
Well, not like he became one of those low key, because I think he dropped out of school. So like uneducated, don't believe in science, don't believe in medicine. Like, I'm gonna protect my family kind of thing, but like you literally can't.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do? Like, he's sick, and then the sister's trying to like help the kid, and he's like, get out.
And so they literally had to set fire to the farm so they could like help him escape.
Oh my goodness.
Like, oh my gosh, it was
yeah, no, but I think kind of like another point to bring up is, I think every single character in the movie really is like fighting, like they're fighting so many things, and it's like there's so many different perspectives to look at, because at the end of the movie, like Dr. Mann betrays everyone, but we actually find out that Dr. Brand's father, Professor Brand, had actually lied about his findings. So he didn't actually, them finding a habitable planet, he didn't actually think it was possible. Like, what Murph and Coop did at the end of the movie, his calculations didn't record that. So, like we were saying
because
before,
his calculations were not to find a planet, right?
It was like
his calculations were to save Earth.
Yeah, but I think he said that there was no, he had told them that they could find a habitable planet with his findings, but he realized that wouldn't work. So he told them, yes, you can find a planet and then bring back everyone and take them to Earth. But what his plan had actually been is, no, they can't save Earth, which is what they were trying to do. So he wanted them to leave everyone on Earth and basically find a new habitable planet and create civilization. Yeah. Was what he wanted them to do, but what he told them was, oh, Earth can be saved. You just need to find life and like kind of like bring that life form back. It was like
he basically said this is like the plan B. But in reality, plan B was his plan A.
Yeah.
But they thought that, oh, we're just doing plan B, but we're going to continue to find things to save Earth.
Yeah, like they thought he would find some sort of calculation that was going to be like, okay, this is
well, they thought he would finish the calculation. That's the thing.
But then, I mean, he dies anyway. But like, anyway, but there's like a betrayal because he basically lies to them. He basically sends off his daughter, which, I mean, I understand why he did. It's like, she's a scientist and also like, she can live what he can't. But
well, I think that like we were also talking about this before. I I think that the reason he sent off his daughter, in a way, yeah, she's a great scientist, but I think that for him it was like the law of equality or whatever, because he is taking this man away from his daughter to do this plan, and he's tricking him. And so he's like, to make it fair and to make it and to almost like maybe to assuage his own personal guilt, he's like, I will sacrifice my daughter as well. And I think that that's literally what happened.
I think it was, in a way, he felt that if he sent her off, that yes, they could possibly find a habitable planet, but it was almost like it was almost like a punishment to himself, because he knew that even if they did find a habitable planet, he was old. He was probably never gonna see his daughter again. Like, him and his daughter both knew that, and I think like they do end up finding out that like he lied about like the plan B, plan A thing. Yeah. But again, that's another part of the story where it's like, was that really worth it in the end? It's like you basically like darkening your soul and like basically like twisting your morals, taking a man away from his family, all in the name of saving humanity, or not even you're leaving your humanity to find a new civilization,
to create a new civilization.
That's literally what you lied to them about, what their entire goal was. And so of course when they find that out, I think they find out while they're like in space. It's
Murph comes, because one of the messages that he sees over, because remember we were talking about how they went to the planet, the wormhole, like warp time, and it like 20 years passed or something like that. So Murph comes to him one day angry, and she was like, did you know? Yeah. Did you know that like there was the equation was false? There was no way to save this planet. And so that's how they discovered that like the whole betrayal and everything. And I think that was it worth it? Was it worth it to them personally? No. But can you think about the generations of people that were living afterwards? Like even Murph's own family, like her great-grandchildren. Do you think that she would say, I don't think it was worth it? It's so difficult, because there's no right answer.
The two sides of a coin. It's like, this is morally wrong, but it also saved, in a way, it saves civilization. If they hadn't have gone out, if he hadn't have lied to them, if he hadn't have torn apart families, then they literally never would have been able to restart civilization. Humans would not have survived. No. They would have all died on Earth, and then it would have been, I don't know, aliens, whatever reality you can think of. There wouldn't have been anyone with humans in it. And so I think there's so many parts of the movie, and even Dr. Mann's betrayal, which like is terrible, but at the end of the day, he's a guy trying to stay alive. Like,
I think that was the whole movie. Like, we view it as like a betrayal, but like, and it still is, but it's like everyone in this movie was just trying to find a way to survive. And you know, sometimes in the midst of trials, in the midst of problems, like morals and morality go out the window. And is that right? No. But it's like,
what would you do?
What would you do? It's and like, it's the complexities of humans.
At the end of the day, you could be the Dr. Mann. It sounds harsh, but it's like any of us could be the Dr. Mann.
But we should work to not be. Exactly. I think that's a message that like, like when hard times come, it's easy to betray other people, but we should strive and work so that we don't become those people. We don't become the person that's going to betray our friends, betray our loves and family,
your livelihood, your job, you don't want everything you worked for.
We want to be, because can you think about that? Like, okay, what if they were able to come back and everything worked out? Like,
what are you going to tell people?
What are you going to tell people? You're like technically a liar, a criminal. Like, you have lied to NASA.
Yeah, you know, they all just died on the way here. I don't know what happened. Like it's just, and then you have to live with that, right? Yeah. And so I think at the end of again, like you're saying, at the end of the day, that shows every single villain story. By the time they get to the end, they get to this big plan. It's like they realize, it's like, what am I fighting for? Because it's like you're fighting to literally be alone. Because people would have found out, there would have been discrepancies, there would have been plot holes. People would have put two and two together, realized he killed his entire team to come live on a planet or live wherever, and then you never would have been accepted in the society you fought so hard to live in. And so it's like, It's like you have to think, it's like, are the things I'm doing now, can I live with myself afterwards, after everything happens?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, no, like Interstellar, like this was just like maybe 35 minutes of just talking about this movie, but there is so much to it that we could talk about it for hours, but we're not going to do that to you. There's so many parts that we didn't even talk about. We didn't talk about Tars the robot. We didn't talk about like so many other things.
The other doctors.
Yeah, but I think that overall, like the main message we really wanted to talk about today was that like familial love can transcend time, can transcend space, and in reality, like it is what drives society and it drives humans. And I think that that's beautiful, and I love that message. And so thanks so much for tuning in and watching or listening to this on whatever platform you're listening to this on. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you're watching this on YouTube. Make sure to turn on post notifications. If you're listening to this on any of the podcasting platforms, make sure to give us a 5-star review. And follow us on all our social medias, Instagram and TikTok, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yep, for maybe another movie, maybe another show. We don't know.
We'll see you then. All okay, right. Bye.